Good evening, friends and family, and thank you for coming to another night with Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities. Tonight, we have a very special guest here in our community, LaShon Crump, who is a notary. Now, how many times have we been in situations where we needed a notary? And we need notaries for so many different things. And so we're going to talk about that tonight. LaShon is going to be able to tell you all of the services that she provides. We're going to understand why this is important. And LaShon, I want to thank you for coming to our podcast tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as you know, family, every week we're a nonprofit organization, and we are working to enhance the awareness and support of Black businesses here in Chicago. It's so important, as I was talking to LaShon before the podcast started, that we began to support our own communities. That's the only way we're going to survive. Other ethnic groups are doing this. And so it's not about people, it's about a strategy, it's about a system, it's about policies that are in place. And for some reason, as I was saying earlier, LaShon, when Black people come together and start talking about doing something collectively, it goes against the grain of other people's survival. Even some people in our own group, everybody's trying to survive. And so we have to get past this. Our communities are being gentrified. We're being displaced, and it's happening here in Chicago. It's happening in New York. It's happening all over the country. Actually, it's happening all over the world. People that are coming here are running here because it's happening in their communities. It's happening in Jamaica, and the Jamaicans are coming here. It's happening in Africa. Africans are coming in here. We have to look at this system and what's happening with this whole immigration system and why people are being forced or feeling like they're forced to move from one place to another.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it right here in the city. Right here in Chicago, we've left Chicago and we run out to the suburbs, but you can't run from this problem. We have to stop and look at what is going on. And we as Black people, we are a nation of people within this country, and we have a culture and we have a legacy, and it all needs to be protected. And we have a right to survive and thrive just like everybody else. So, in our own little way, myself, Doris Lewis, Harvey Yarbrough, board members, we got together and we started this organization. We do these podcasts on Wednesday nights. We bring all these wonderful businesses like yourself, LaShon, to the community to let people know we have people out here that are able to service you, and sometimes we have to go out our way a little bit. If you go to our website, we're connected with International Black Pages, and they have a listing of Black businesses here in the Chicago area and local suburban areas. We have Chicago Eats. Brother Toure has over 500 restaurants that we can go to and support. And so we'll link with them. And that's what's important. We have to link. We have to connect.
That's right.
You can't do it by yourself. We tried to set our own directory up, and it was so cumbersome. We decided, what are we doing? And all we had to do was ask. And we had this level of support. So that's what's important here. We're great supporters of our bookstores. We have at least 9 Black bookstores here in Chicago. Some of them have book reading clubs and all different types of events at their bookstores. So our people are reading,
And
contrary
that's
to what.
wonderful. I love that. When I went to your website and I saw, I'm an
Uh-huh.
avid reader and I just love books. I hate to see a book on the ground. I hate to see anybody throw books in the garbage. I'm like, no, 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 we cannot. We need for our children to read. We need to read.
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
when you read, you unlock so much power. You get in lost in the book, in the story. Reading is just phenomenal. And I think what the black bookstores, I think that is, you're doing an awesome job with that. I was so impressed when I went on the website and saw that. I was like, oh, she just pulled my heartstrings.
That's right. That's right. And these bookstores, and when you go to them, visiting them is another level of experience. We're so used to
Hmm.
ordering everything online, but you
Right.
can't. They do have websites, but
Hmm.
going into these bookstores, talking to some of the owners, looking and seeing the different books that they have, that's just another level of experience. And
Yes.
so that's why we support our bookstores. We feature a bookstore of the month, and the bookstore for this month is Call and Response. They're located at 1390 East Hyde Park Boulevard. I think they're one of our newest
Okay.
bookstores. They're open on Wednesday through Sunday, I believe, from 11 to 6. And They have a lot of uplifting. They're working on uplifting Black authors and marginal voices. And they have curated selections of new books, fiction, poetry, children's books. They have a website. I went inside. They have greeting cards. A lot of times we're looking for greeting cards,
Mm,
puzzles, bookmarkers. Some very cool bookmarkers are
that's
in there.
wonderful.
And they had a selection of albums over
Oh,
there
wow.
on the side. So, it was in a nice ambiance, a nice place to walk around and look. So please select call and response. And We go a step further, we give a book away. So every month we give a book away to one of our subscribers. All you have to do is go to rrgbc.org and subscribe. The bookstore of the for this month is A Dream Deferred. It's about Jesse Jackson fight
Okay.
for political power. So
Wow.
this is an interesting read. He started out
Hmm.
in the 60s with Martin Luther King, and he became an activist. He created Push and just all that he went through, all to the end of his time with us. A
Yeah.
lot happened. So if you want to win a copy of that book, go to rrgbc.org, subscribe, and you could become a winner. We pay for the book.
Mm,
We want you to go into the bookstore and pick the book up, but if that is not possible, we will mail the book to you free of charge.
okay.
That's how important we feel this is, and this is something that our organization offers. And then we're asking you to support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. They are a banking institution. They're right there in the shopping mall at 55th and Wentworth.
Okay.
They're
I saw that. I got them on my little email you sent me. I printed out and I was doing some, looking through your website and everything. I was
uh-huh.
like, a black owned bank? What?
And
Southside
they've been
Community
there for
Federal.
over 20 years.
Never knew. Never knew.
So you can open up accounts,
Yes.
checking accounts, savings accounts,
That's
business
awesome.
accounts.
Mm-hmm.
They have a nice product list of loans, personal loans, some micro business loans,
Mm-hmm.
car loans. And they do a lot of financial literacy training there.
Okay,
They
I
have
definitely
classes there.
will. Yes, I will definitely um, reach out to them, especially owning a small business. Trying to get loans for equipment and stuff. It.
Hmm.
Yeah, of course, Chase and U.S. Bank and all these big banks are gonna call. They're calling me
Sure,
all the time, and I'm like, yeah,
sure.
no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to take a loan
Sure,
out with you.
sure.
So
And then
just to know.
you want a bank that's not just trying to make money off of you,
Mm-hmm.
right? You want a bank that is interested in you. So when
And
I say
yes,
Greg
develop.
Brown, the proprietor over there, has these financial literacy classes, maybe getting this loan is not the best way to get to this situation,
Mm-hmm.
like you're saying. So they're interested in your success.
Yes,
That's
that's
what the
wonderful.
Southside Community Federal Credit Union is about, and that's why they are so important. They're just not calling you trying to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to support them. And how do you support a bank? By opening up
Opening accounts.
accounts. That's
Absolutely.
how banks open up accounts.
Yes.
You mentioned Citibank, Chase Bank,
Mm-hmm.
Bank of America, all these banks sitting in our communities, and we've got our money sitting in there, and
Mm-hmm.
millions of dollars off of our dollars. But how much is coming back to us?
Zero.
And even all of these people with businesses in our community who do not live in our community, who will not support our causes,
Right.
how much of the dollars that we're spending with them are
With
coming
them,
back to us?
exactly. No, they're taking their money and they're going to their big, fabulous houses, and they're charging exuberant prices for the goods that they're selling in the
That's right.
community, and it's just terrible. It's
And the
just
more
terrible.
money that they make, the more businesses they're able to open up, the
Open.
more
Hmm.
the more ways they're able to make things convenient.
Yeah.
This is
Hmm.
where we're getting trapped,
Right. Yeah.
because they're open 24/7. They
Exactly.
have products on the
Hmm.
shelves all the time.
All the
You know,
time. Right.
somebody had a business, and they said, so the guy came over, want to know, who are you getting your products from?
Wow.
In a very arrogant and nasty way.
Hmm.
This is what's going on out here, people.
Yeah.
So this is what we're up against. So this is why we do this, and we ask you to go to our website, watch our podcast, subscribe. We have a blog where we write some very interesting articles on our blog about what's going on out here. We have an events page, the ETA Theater here in Chicago. Haven't heard about them lately, but they are still there.
Mm.
And they have plays, and they have if you go to our website, I believe we have ETA Theater up there. They'll be doing a run on For Colored Girls in
Mm.
August.
Okay. ETA Theater.
It's a Black theater. They're located on South Chicago.
Okay.
They've been there for decades, but it's like, we haven't been talking about them.
Right.
But they
Yeah.
are there, and they are in full spin,
Okay.
and we need to support them, and we need to know that they are there. And they have drama classes. So if you want to take drama classes and put your children in drama classes or what have you, they've got
Hmm.
that going on over there. And if
That's
something I
wonderful.
forgot to mention about the Southside Community Federal Credit Union, getting back to the bank, if you have children as young as 7 years old, they can establish an account at the Southside Community Federal Credit Union and
Mm.
begin to learn about financial literacy,
That's awesome.
how to open up an account, how to manage that account, understanding money.
Hmm.
I can say when I started working, I got money, have money, we'll spend. I was,
Yes. And
and
the
it
more you make, the more you spend.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
it took some experiences for me to begin to learn. I got to manage this a little better.
Exactly. We have to be good stewards over our finances.
That's right. And my
Yeah.
grandfather used to always tell me, it's not how much money you make, it's what you do with it.
What you do with it. That's
That's
right.
right. And
Hmm.
that is not an understatement at
Right.
all.
And we need
So,
to be creating generational wealth like the other people.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. We
Managing
need
your money
managing your
is
money and manage.
generational wealth.
Yeah.
Holding
And
on to your properties and
that,
your
oh,
parents'
yes.
properties
Your parents'
is
properties.
generational wealth.
Oh, my goodness. So
We
many
got to
of the
stop, you know,
losing it. We have to stop
quit
losing our
giving it
parents'
away,
property, just giving it away. Yeah.
selling it away, because
Yeah.
that money, it's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon.
Hmm.
And in that story, it's a simple story, but it's about when you get some money, you're always taking that money to create more
More
legs to
money.
make
Hmm.
more money.
Yeah.
So if you have a property and you sell it, what are you going to do with that money?
Right.
That property is always going to enhance or increase in
Hmm.
value.
Right.
And it's always going to be there. Land is the most
The land is the
valuable.
most, oh yes, because you can't create any more land.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
So
So
land
people
is
stop giving
priceless.
up your people's property when they're gone.
Hmm.
Selling it off, and you're getting $50,000 here and $50,000 there, and in a year less, their money's gone.
Yes. Hmm.
It's gone, and so is the property.
And so is the property. Right.
Absolutely. So yeah, very important. And please also come to our website. We take donations. They help us to provide these podcasts. They help us when we go out into the community. We fight for people. We've helped
Hmm.
people get websites. We've helped people who are losing their business or being pushed out. We don't have any
Mm.
problems writing all these aldermen and senators, all these black caucus
Hmm.
members we have at every level of the government. We have no problem sending them letters, and we'll go to a meeting or a congregational presentation with you. So we're all about supporting our businesses. So we take donations. Please go to our website where you can also make donations. So let's get to our guest tonight, LaShon. So today we're talking about something that doesn't get the spotlight, but absolutely should. And that's access to legal documentation, notarization, and the everyday paperwork that protects our families, our businesses, and as LaShawn said, our generational wealth.
Yeah.
And in Black communities, we know the truth. Sometimes the biggest barriers aren't the laws themselves, it's the access to the services that help us navigate those laws. Transportation, mobility, trust, safety, and convenience, it all matters. And when these barriers stack up, important documents go unsigned. Business deals get delayed, housing opportunities fall through, and families lose protection that they should have had. Am I telling the truth,
That's
LaShawn?
that's the absolute truth. Yes, ma'am.
So
It
that's
is.
why you and the work that you're doing is very important. And you are a professional notary, a mobile notary, and a community centered entrepreneur who brings your services directly to the people. You go to homes, hospitals, senior citizens, small businesses, neighborhoods that have historically been overlooked.
Yes.
Tell
I
the
go
truth.
where I go wherever I am needed. I'm like DoorDash. I'm like Instacart.
Oh,
The same convenience that they provide, the same service they provide, I provide it also.
that's right. And
Yeah.
she's not just stamping papers, people. She's removing barriers.
Various.
She's
Absolutely.
increasing access, and she's helping Black families secure their futures. And she's doing it with professionalism, cultural awareness, and a deep understanding of what our community actually needs. So today we're diving into her journey, her business, and the impact of mobile services and the role notarization plays in protecting Black wealth, Black stability, and Black features. So let's welcome LaShon Crump. Okay. So LaShon, I'm going to let you begin by talking about what inspired you, first of all, to become a notary, and when did you realize this work was needed in the community?
Well, you probably won't believe this, but I retired after 30 years of service at Cook County Jail. I retired as a correctional lieutenant, and working at the jail, they had notaries. And I would always wonder, like, what are they doing? You know what? The guys would always say, I need the notary, I need the notary, I gotta give custody of my kids to my mother, or I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So I was always intrigued by it, but just in passing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I retired in 2024, and I didn't do anything for like a year. I was like, I've been working all my life. I'm tired. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. But of course, that didn't last. And so the opportunity presented itself for me to do notary. I was like, okay, I can do that. So the state of Illinois requires you to take a 4-hour course, which I did. I did everything in one day. I took the course, I passed the test, I did everything that was required of me because I knew how valuable this service is. I did a lot of research, and the bulk of the clientele that I see are those in senior facilities, rehab facilities, um, people that are bedbound. I have a lot of children are calling for their on behalf of their parents, saying, "My mom is non-mobile. I didn't even know this was a thing. Would you come here?" And I was like, "Okay, this has a purpose." And so it just started from there. I have so many clients. As a matter of fact, the way we were introduced was
Mhm.
through a
That's
mobile
right.
client.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. And
And
he needed you.
oh my
His
goodness,
brother had
his
had
brother.
an accident and was
Yes.
incapacitated, was in the hospital, and he had to
And
take care
he
all of
couldn't
a sudden.
believe that the service existed. He was like, "So you'll come?" I said, "I'll come wherever you need me to come," because he was in such a. I was like, "Calm down. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's
Mhm.
gonna be okay." I said, "As long as you have your documents complete, I will come where you are. You don't have to worry about anything." And it was just a blessing to be able to help him. You never know what a family is going through, and if I can take some of that pressure off of them by going to
Mhm.
them and making sure their documents are notarized according
Mhm.
to state laws, that's what I do, you
Well,
know.
let me ask you this. You said the first thing you had to do, you had to get your certification, right?
I had to
So
get commissioned through the state of Illinois.
what is that like? Did you have to take a class
I had to
or
take an online class, a 4-hour online class, and I had to pass a written test after the 4 hours to become commissioned. I had to do a background check. It's a very tedious process, which it should be because you are dealing with people's personal information.
okay.
You are commissioned by the state, and you taking an oath that you're going to do the right thing by these people, because I also do loan signing. So every home that's sold, every home that's refinanced, any kind of uh, loan documentation, there has to be documents notarized. So that means there needs to be a notary in the building. So you're dealing with people's their social security numbers, their bank account information. So this is not something that you can take lightly. So the
Sure.
state puts you through a rigorous process to get commissioned.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So
ma'am.
they want to make sure that
That you're
we got to be
trustworthy.
trustworthy,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
then there's a certain level of knowledge that you need to know about
Exactly.
certain types of documents.
Documents. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. Yes, because
Uh-huh.
everything can't be notarized. Some people will say, "I need you to notarize my passport. I can't notarize your passport. I can't notarize your birth certificate. I can't well, no, there are just certain documents that cannot be notarized."
Okay.
So you have to go through the steps of the process of learning what can be notarized, what can't be notarized. And, as far as you have to have proper identification, you know, I can't notarize something for a person that's not in front of me. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be physically in front of me so I can witness you signing that document. A lot of fraud is going on, scams.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
literally had people call and say, "Oh, my mom's in the senior home. I just need you to notarize this." No, that's not how that works, you know. And you have to have integrity. I'm a woman of integrity. I will tell you, no, she has to be able to tell me what it is she's signing. She has to be aware. You can't just say, "Go on, sign this, mom. Go ahead, go ahead." No, you can't do that. So it's a real serious job, and I don't take it
Mm-hmm.
light. I don't take.
So you have to know the laws.
Yes, ma'am. You
You
have
have to
to
know the
know the
laws
notary
when it
laws.
comes to
Absolutely.
signing documents.
Yes, because you can be signing away your house. You can be signing away your bank account. You give power of attorney to people, and if the people are not of good character, they will take their parents' property. I've seen a guy and his sister, they literally about to go to blows at the senior facility. The brother wanted to take the mother's property, and the sister's like, no, she's not. And I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. I will have no parts of this.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. That is really interesting. So, what made you decide to offer mobile notary? Because I don't know too many people. I don't know too many people that do that. I know people that know somebody that's a notary, and they'll
Uh-huh.
been in situations. I got somebody I can call. Come over
Uh-huh.
here.
Well,
What
what
made
made me offer mobile notary is I had so many people that I guess it was a thing going on where city employees have to sign pension letters now. Back in the day, they just got their pensions and, they went on about their life. But something happened where the children were, after the parents are deceased, they're still getting their checks, their pension checks. And so I had a young lady call me about her mom, and she was so upset. She was like, she's never got this before. And is there any way that you can come to my house? And I was like, where do you live? And so she
okay.
began to tell me where she lived. I was like, yeah, I could come there. And so I went to her house, and my heart just broke for this daughter. Her mom was bedridden. And when I walked in the room, I don't know, it was just like, oh my God, I'm saying this could be my mother. So
Mm-hmm.
I was happy to do that service for her. And the mother she was so appreciative. She was so thankful. And she was like, oh my God, you just don't know we didn't know what we were gonna do. And I need my checks. And I was like, don't worry about it. We're gonna take care of this. Everything is gonna be okay. And I even took her letter to the a post office for her because the deadline was getting close and it had to be back at a certain time. I was like, if you trust me with it, I will take it and hand deliver it to the post office so it could get there. And she was like, oh my God, thank you so much. So that's another service I offer is courier. If you can't go and pick up documents or drop, I can do the pickup and drop off for you as well. But it just snowballed from
It just
there.
snowballed. One
It
thing had
snowed,
led
one
to
thing
another.
led to
You
another.
was
And
beginning to fulfill needs and
yes,
didn't
I was.
realize,
Mhm.
where this was going to take you.
I didn't know where it was going to take me, but it was just a blessing to be a blessing. I've had mothers that work at home, and they can't leave. They need stuff notarized, but they're working remote, so they can't just up and leave and go. And then I've had people tell me, well, the bank won't notarize this, or the currency exchange said they don't notarize this, or the library. So there are certain documents that the bank is not going to notarize, the currency exchange is not going to notarize, and the library, they're not going to notarize those documents because they don't want the responsibility. You
What
know.
about time? Is there a certain, have you had to notarize a document at some crazy time, two
Oh my
o'clock in the
goodness.
morning? Or,
Well, I actually had a guy call me at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and he was like, "I need this done. I need this done," and it was something with his like a wheel or something. He was like, I got to get this done. I got to get this taken care of. I'm a truck driver, and I got to have this done before I leave. And I was like, okay, so what time? He was like, now. I need it now. I was like,
oh,
hold up. Can't get it now. It's like, what about 8 o'clock? He was like, yes, yes, yes. 8 o'clock is fine. Where can we meet? And I was like, so we set up a meeting spot, and I was like, well, I charge a before hours fee. He was like, I don't care what it is. I'll pay you. I don't care. I don't care.
yeah, but people want those
So he was,
documents signed.
yeah, he needed those documents. He had a deadline. And most of the people that I service, they always are like, it's always, I need it like right now, right this minute today, because they've been looking. Like Harvey, he said, I've been trying to get this done for 2 weeks. I'm like, what? He said, I've been looking for a
Wow.
notary everywhere. And I just found that
Yeah.
so hard to believe. I'm like, the facility don't have a notary on staff.
And see,
So
he's on the road all the
yes,
time,
yes.
so Wow.
Yes.
Family, we are talking to LaShon Crump. She is a notary, a mobile notary. Give us the name of your business and how people can get in touch with you.
Well, the name of my business is Swift Stamp Mobile Notary LLC, and my office is located in Flossmoor, Illinois. I only do office appointment. I only go in office by appointment only. My main thing is travel. I'm
Okay.
mobile. I'm out in the streets. So, if you really, really need me to come in the office, I'll come in the office. But I prefer to be out and about, moving around, taking care of people, the UPS store, FedEx, wherever. We can meet at a coffee shop. If you don't want me to come to your house, no problem. We can meet wherever you want to meet. I've literally done notarizations on the hood of a truck driver's car, oh, a
Okay.
truck. He was in between routes. He was like, look, I got these documents. Can you come to the Peatone truck stop? I said, absolutely. I'll be there.
So you servicing within Chicago,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
outside of Chicago,
Yes.
suburban areas,
Mm-hmm.
basically Chicago, suburban, surrounding
Yes.
suburban areas, basically.
Surrounding suburban area. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she's not
Mm-hmm.
getting on the airplane, flying
Oh,
to,
no, no.
because you're notarized for Illinois, is it
Yes,
like that?
Illinois. Yes, I'm an Illinois notary public. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
So
Okay.
anywhere in Illinois, I have gone all the way to Bradley, Kankakee, Bourbonnais. Yes,
Has this turned into a full-time job?
I think it has.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it has. But I
Wow,
love it. I love it. So
that's
I have no
wonderful.
complaints. I have no complaints. And I meet a
Just
lot of nice people, a lot of interesting people. I met a lady yesterday or day before. She had a cat. The cat jumped on the table while we were in the middle of signing documents. And I was like, okay. So you have people that just love their pets, and it's fun. It's fun. I
just
enjoy it.
listening to you and how you started, how would you say your personal background or your lived
Mhm.
experiences have shaped the way you operate as a notary business today?
Well, I think my background in the jail, because I had to deal with so many different type of people, all races, all just every type of person you could think of. I have common contact with. So that has prepared me to deal with the highs, the lows, just being able to, read the room when I walk into a person's house. If I get a good vibe, if I get a bad vibe. I've had customers that are like really sharp with their tongue, you know, but I know how to navigate that as well,
Mhm,
because I'm going to still take my time and do what I need to
mhm.
do. And this is what we're going to do. And I
Okay,
understand that you are in a hurry, but this is what we need, and
okay,
if you're in a hurry, then I can come back. How about that?
okay.
So
Mhm.
you learn how to slow it down. You learn how to let them know that you're in control of the signing. I'm here to service you, but also I'm here to respect you and you're going to respect me, and do it in a professional manner.
Okay,
So, yeah.
okay. So, what types of documents do you notarize? List
I
those.
notarize power of attorneys. I notarize wills, affidavits, trust documents, real estate documents. I just did a loan modification packet yesterday. Basically, any document that can be notarized, I will notarize it. As long as this falls within the state law, I can notarize it.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I-9 verification forms. I can, you know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. What would you say are some of the biggest barriers that Black people face when trying to get documents notarized or processed?
I
You
think
say,
they don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. A lot of the documents people try to do themselves, and I don't prepare documents or anything like that, but I have a knowledge of documents. Being a notary, I can't tell you, oh, this is wrong, this is because that's outside of my scope of practice.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell the person, did you have an attorney look this over? Did you do this yourself? And they'll be like, should I? I said, well, you should consult an attorney, especially when it comes to power of attorney, wills, real estate documents. A lot of people think they can do them themselves, and a lot of times the documents are not correct.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not in the realm to say this is not correct. I'm just there to notarize. As long as there's a notarial block on that document, I'm going to notarize it. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be invalid because the document itself is wrong. So people need to understand that just because you get a document notarized does not make it a legal document. It's just a notarizing saying, I witnessed this person come before me and sign this document. That's what the notarization is. And then you have like a jurat where I swear you in saying, you solemnly swear that you know what is in this document to the best of your ability. Mm-hmm. And they say, yes, I do. And I log it in my notary journal that an oath was given. They say they knew what was in this document. I witnessed them sign it. I still stamp my seal on it. I sign off on it, and off they go.
When somebody selects or uses a notary, mm-hmm. what should they look for or expect with the notary? Like you said, you have a journal, mm-hmm. and you're documenting, yes. So yes. On the flip side, if I'm hiring somebody to be a notary, what should I be looking at?
Well, most of my clients, they'll tell me, I'll ask them, well, how did you find me? And they say, I went to your Google business page. Mm-hmm. So my previous clients, I always ask them, were you satisfied with your service today? And they'll say, oh, I was extremely satisfied. You made it so smooth. You made it effortless. Would you mind leaving me a Google review? So if you go on my Google business profile, I have over 50 5-star reviews. I've been in business for a year, and everybody that I come into contact with, they are, oh, I've never seen anybody do it like that. I explain what it is I'm doing. I explain why I take your ID and I log it in my journal. This is in case something down the future comes up and they say, oh, well, you cheated. Your mother didn't sign this. And they can go back and say, oh, yes, the notary, she got the information. She got my driver's license. She was there. I signed as a witness or whatever the case may be. So I do everything by the book.
By the book.
Everything is done by the book. And I'm explaining to you.
You're explaining it to them as you're going along.
To make them feel comfortable. Even before we meet, I'm going to explain to you over the phone what the process is like. You have to have a valid form of ID, whether that's a driver's license or state ID, a passport, military ID. You have to have these things in order. If your document requires a witness, do you have a witness? Oh, yes, I have a witness. Okay, well, your witness cannot be related to you. They have to be a disinterested party. And then they'll go, oh my God, I don't have a witness. Who can I get? My granddaughter? No, your granddaughter, your son, none of those people can be a witness. Maybe your neighbor. Oh, I don't want my neighbor in my business. So a lot of times I'll take my husband with me and he can be a witness to the, signing of the document. And then a lot of times they'll have one other person. But I do everything by the book because my commission, I don't want to be taken away. Mm-hmm. I worked hard to get my commission. I'm proud of what I do. And I'm not going to allow anybody to circumvent the process just to say, oh, I'm in a hurry. Could you do that? No, we're going to slow it down and we're going to do things the right way.
So when you get something notarized, is ID, witness, are those the basic things that people need?
Yes, well, the ID definitely.
Do you let them know,
oh, absolutely.
before you come?
Beforehand, I have a checklist and it's Questions I ask before I even set an appointment, like what type of document is it? What is the document? A lot of times I'll have them send me the document just to make sure that I can notarize it. Do you have a valid ID? How many people will be there to sign? You know, is it a husband and wife? Is it 3, 4, 5 people? I have literally had documents. It was an estate trust, and it was like 11 people, 11 signers. And I'm trying to keep up with all 11 IDs, making sure everybody signs my journal, because we're not going to do anything until I log your ID and you sign my journal, and then we'll proceed with the notarizations. So,
Okay.
yes, ID in the person, make sure they are willing and aware. Those are the most important steps of the notarization process. And they
And
have to be
that witness have to be a certain age,
over 18.
over 18.
Yes.
Mhm.
And they cannot be a party of what's in the document. So your granddaughter can't be a witness to your will or your power of attorney, because she has an
Mhm.
interest, a personal interest. So it has to be someone outside a disinterested party who has nothing to gain from being a witness.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So all of this makes the process more likely to be successful.
Exactly.
You're
Yes.
knowing all of that. So have you noticed, in certain neighborhoods or certain communities, especially that are underserved, um, that are actually being underserved when it comes to getting something notarized?
Absolutely. Yes. Like the more distressed areas, you know,
Mhm.
especially in the south suburbs, where they don't have the transportation to get to the places that they need to. And there are really no banks. There's no library. There's nothing. They're like in a desert, you know. They don't have the grocery store. They have no resources. So it's
Mhm.
hard for them to accomplish anything, you know.
And we have some of those areas,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm not sure. I might be wrong.
Mhm.
One of the areas I knew that I felt might be like this is like Ford Heights
Yes,
up
absolutely.
there in the
Yes.
south suburbs. It's not
Yes.
hot out there.
Riverdale, Harvey. Oh, they're just, it's not a whole lot. And it's so sad, because those places used to be vibrant communities at one
Mhm.
time, you know,
Mhm.
and now it's just nothing, just nothing.
And how would you say access to a notary, to a notary connect? How would that connect to larger issues like housing stability, um, uh, entrepreneurship, generational wealth, as we mentioned
Yeah.
earlier in our communities?
Well, when the people are unable to get their documents notarized,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they're time sensitive, a lot of documents are time sensitive. And when a person can't get the help they need, they get frustrated and they give up. You know, a lot of times people like Mr. Harvey,
Mm-hmm.
when he told me it took 2 weeks, I was like, 2 weeks? He was like, I just didn't have I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. My brother was in the hospital. I was dealing with it. And I just could not believe it took him 2 weeks to find a notary. I was like, that is insane. So I gave him my card, and I told him there are plenty of mobile notaries around. I said,
Mm-hmm.
people don't know about them. Why? I don't know. But I think we're doing the community a disservice, not being more out there, not
Right.
making ourselves more visible. So I have been really working with trying, and I'm not a social media person, but trying to be more present in social media, letting the people know this is a thing. If you need a notary, I can come to you.
Mm-hmm.
If your mother is bedbound, I can come to you and take care of that, and you don't have to worry about a stranger coming in your home, because like I say, I have credentials from my previous job. I'm
Mm-hmm.
fingerprinted every so often because I have a concealed carry. So I want to keep my credentials up to date. You don't have to worry about me coming in your house taking anything or
Sure.
stealing your identity or anything like that, So I think a lot of people, they get frustrated because they don't know what to do, and then they look up and then they've missed their deadline. So now that's another problem, and it's just sad. A lot of people lose their homes because they don't get the documents notarized correctly or in the time that's needed.
So what documents do you wish more Black people would complete or update
Oh my goodness.
to protect
Their
themselves legally?
wills, their power of attorneys for healthcare, for financial. I would advise everybody to get a will and a trust. If you don't do anything else, and a lot of people say, oh, trusts and wills are for rich people. No, they're not. Get you a will in place and get you a trust in addition to that will,
So why do
because
you say
anything could
that?
happen. Anything could happen. You know, if you get sick right now today, do you have something in place so that the hospital can say, okay, let's call Sue Smith, she's your power of attorney. She's going to make medical decisions on your behalf. Okay, we're going to call Robert Jones. He's your power of attorney on financial. He's going to pay your mortgage and make sure all your bills are paid while you're in a rehab facility so you won't lose your home. So those type of documents are very, very important, especially for Black people, because if we don't have anybody taking care of our finances, if we're somewhere sick or incapacitated, guess what? The powers that be is going to scoop in and take it. It's going to go in probate and we're going to lose it. So those are the most important documents I would advise anybody, everybody. Get you a will, get you a trust binder, and have all your things in order. Bank accounts, put everything in your trust. So if something, God forbid, happened unexpectedly, your family knows, okay, my daughter is my power of attorney over my finances. My son is my power of attorney over my health care. I have a do not resuscitate order. This is who gets the house. This is who gets the bank. Have everything in order. Have it in order.
Have it in order.
Yes.
How can notarization support Black-owned businesses or entrepreneurship?
I think if, like, I go to a lot of funeral homes, attorney's office, real estate. I network with these people, and it's not always because I need clients. I just know that there's a need for certain things at the funeral home that need to be notarized. And even the funeral home staff, they don't know where to send these people to get these documents notarized, especially if they don't have anybody on staff. So I think even myself, I need to be more in the community, working with other Black businesses. I offer free notarizations for veterans because they have a hard time. Once a month, I offer that service on Tuesday. And that's my way of giving back to the community, trying to help the veterans out because of, they served our country. That's the least I could do. My husband is a veteran. He's a retired school teacher. He's retired state police. So I always tell them, if you know somebody that just need help, let me know. I'll go. I don't have a problem with going to help. So I think we all have to work together, come together to help each other. Yeah. I can lift you up. You reach back, pull somebody else up,
That's right.
Yeah.
And as business owners, people going into business, would you say they find themselves, this just kind of like par for the course that you're going to need a notary at some
Oh,
point?
absolutely. Absolutely. Contracts.
Mm-hmm.
I had an landscaping company, a big landscaping company in Chicago Heights reached out to me. And he was like, hey, I just got this contract. I need to have it signed. And I was like, okay, well, where are you? He said, I'm in Chicago Heights. Just come here. And, like I said, everything was rush, rush, rush,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, I can be there within the hour. And he was like, okay, I'll be waiting on you. And literally when I pulled up, he was waiting outside. He was like, this is one of the biggest contracts of my career. I have to sign this contract and get it back to the people like now. And I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so funny because I'm like, everything is always, the last minute when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to needing your paperwork, your important paperwork notarized. It's always, I need it now, I need it now, I need it now, you know. So, but yeah, that was a learning experience. Like any business could need a notary,
Sure.
any business. Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say would be a misconception that people have about notaries or the notarization
I
process?
think the biggest misconception people have is, and I've heard it so much, you just stamping papers. You just stamping. No, I'm not just stamping paper. These papers are somebody's livelihood. Like you selling a $900,000 house. Do you want me to just stamp a paper? No, you want somebody who know what they're doing, who's knowledgeable, who's professional, who has an eye for detail. I'm not just stamping paper. This is somebody's life. This is their livelihood, So
Mhm.
that's it. You just stamping papers. You just stamping. That just drives me crazy when people say that.
What would you say was one of the most memorable um, or meaningful experiences that you had while providing mobile notary
Oh my
services?
God. I tell this story all the time. I had to go to a rehab facility. It was two sons, and their mother. They were trying to get the mother to sign her will, her power of attorney. Now, her attorney drew up all the papers. The son called and asked me, could I meet him at the facility? He had her ID, everything was good. I go there. She wasn't having it. She was like, no, I'm not signing nothing. And I'm looking at him and he looking at me. He's like, Ma, we already went through this. You have to sign. She said, I don't have to sign nothing. And she did not sign. I waited around like 15 minutes, just to see if she would come. She refused. So I was like, well, I'm sorry. I can't wait any longer. I have another appointment. And he was like, oh my God. He was like, would you try again tomorrow? I said, well, I'm gonna have to charge you another mobile fee because I can't keep. He was like, okay, I'll pay it. I don't care. We got to get this done. I go the next day. Well, he called me. He was like, I don't have a witness today. I said, okay, well, I can bring a witness. That's fine. So I take my husband as my witness. My husband walks in the room. She look at him. She said, ooh, who is that?
Wait a minute. How old was his mother?
She had to be about 85. So I just chuckled. And so she told him, she said, you come here. And I'm like, okay. And so she was talking to him, and the sons was like, Ma, we got stuff to do. Come on, you got to do this. So she took her paperwork and she was looking over it. And they were like, what are you doing? She said, I'm reading. She said, I'm not signing nothing until I read it.
All right, mama.
And the son said, well, Mom, what are you looking for? She said, I'm looking for your name and your brother's name. I want to make sure both of your names are in this will. So the neighbor, who was the other witness, she flipped and she was like, here it is, Miss So and so. Here's his name. Here's his name. And she was like, oh, okay, I see it. I'll sign now. When I say this woman was very aware of everything that was going on, she was a force to be reckoned with. She told me her name, and she was not going to sign those documents until she made sure that both her boys were included in that document. And I was like, you go, girl. And
That
we got
is
it done. And
hilarious.
the sons were so happy. They was like, oh my God, you just don't know. She has been giving us the flux. I said, oh, trust me, I can believe she has because she was a pistol.
She
So
sound like it.
yeah, she was. But I was like, okay. But
Oh,
it was just a pleasure. It was a pleasure to help them because I could tell that they had been through a lot with her. They had been through a
wow.
lot. She was not a pushover at all. And she was not going out without a fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
When you said 85, made me think of my mother. She's 88.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Where do you see notary business going next? And how do you hope to expand your impact, and your business in the Black community?
Well, what I see the turn of the notary business, they're going to an online platform, which is called remote online notarizations. So just like I'm sitting here having a conversation with you,
Mm-hmm.
I can notarize via online. So
Sure.
they have systems in place
Mm-hmm.
where they do a authentication even before you and I would get on the screen to make sure your ID is legitimate, that is government issue, that is not a fake or anything like that. Even before we come together, you have to put your credentials into the system to make sure that you are who you say you are, and then we can proceed with the notarization. I'll
Okay.
stamp it via, like you would do a DocuSign almost. And you pay upfront even before the notarization takes place, and then you would get your documents like within an hour. So that's becoming very popular, the remote online notarizations. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that way I can notarize for somebody in China.
Oh.
I can notarize in Ireland or Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Hmm.
So this is be a lucrative business.
Yes, it is. I know notaries, like my notary mentor, she is making at least 6 digits because she teaches. She has a
Okay.
training, she has a school that she's doing notary training. She's a wedding officiant. There's so many things you can do with a notary commission.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the
Wow.
possibilities are endless. So yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Our guest, LaShon Crump, is doing more than notarizing documents. You know what I'm saying? You're removing barriers. You're meeting people where they are.
Yes.
You're making legal access mobile, flexible, and culturally responsive. And you're proving that when Black and build businesses with intention,
That's right.
the entire community benefits.
Benefits.
And
That's right.
that's what you're doing. So family, if you heard something tonight that made you think, I need to get my paperwork in order and my
Yes.
family needs this service, I want you to reach out to LaShon, support her business, and share her information. And these are the kinds of services that keep our community stable, protected, and empowered. This is a very important. So make sure you follow LaShon. LaShon, tell us how our family can get in touch with you again.
Okay. I have a website, swiftstampmobilenotary.com is my website. You can always Google me, Swift Stamp Mobile Notary. I have a Google business profile, and I can be reached at area code 708-794-8310. I also have an office in Flossmoor, 19624 Governors Highway, Suite 206, but that's by appointment only because, like I said before, I love to be outside.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Keep LaShon in mind the next time you need a notary. Absolutely. LaShon, thank you for coming to our podcast. I
Thank
enjoyed
you for
talking to
having me. I
you.
really appreciate you, and I love what you are doing. And anything I can do to help support you, just let me know. I appreciate
Okay,
you.
and that is reciprocal.
Yes.
All right, so family, I hope you learned something tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. contact LaShon, because everybody is needing a notary at some point and sometime.
That's right.
Absolutely. And just remember to support Black businesses. That's what we got to do. We got to support each other.
Each other. That's right.
Got nothing to do, nothing against other people. Other cultures, nothing. It's just
we talking about
come
us.
home and take
That's
care
right.
of business.
Yes,
right?
That's
Okay.
right.
So thank you for taking time out of your schedule, LaShon, to be with us.
Thank you, Miss Denise. I appreciate you, and you take care.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.